Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, love attraction, all of that juicy goodness. I am an intuitive reader, a manifesting coach, a Reiki practitioner, and a life path guide and mentor, here to help you along your awakening journey so that you can co-create the life of your dreams. And we need everybody on the planet to wake up to their co-creator abilities. We are all these beautiful souls in these beautiful vessels that we chose, and we have the opportunity to think thoughts that will create and generate a feeling that will drive us to take an action to then call in whatever we want to create for ourselves. I am proof, my clients are proof, we can create the life that we want. I left my teaching job a couple years ago. I was a teacher for 17 years. I taught high school kids about nutrition, mindfulness, meditation, how to be fit and strong. It was like a life coaching class. And they would always say, Miss Thornton, you should be a motivational speaker. You should be a life coach one day. And I started to put it on my vision board because that's really, they were reflecting back to me what I was already thinking. And I didn't know much about manifestation back then. I hadn't read the book The Secret yet, but as soon as I read the book The Secret, it opened me up. And in this video, I want to open you up. I want to let you know what you're capable of. So when I started to read that book, I started to really put on my vision board what I wanted. And we're living in a time now, it's 2024. We don't have to use a vision board. We can if that's what you like. But we can just think thoughts and generate a feeling and see it in our imagination, and we can create it. We can tell a new story. We can claim this new person that we want to be. Who you think you are is what you will attract. Okay, that is your belief system. Your belief system, I like to say, it resides back here in your imagination station. Whatever you are imagining to be true for yourself is what you are creating. And I was on a client call the other day, and I was talking about my story, and I was talking about how I was a teacher, and every day I was teaching in that classroom, and I was doing exactly what I'm doing here. I just had kids in front of me in the classroom, and I was always so nervous that I would get in trouble because I was not always teaching the curriculum. I was kind of going off on tangents about life and what do you do when loss happens, and what happens if life doesn't go your way? How do you handle it? When I was supposed to be teaching about, I don't know, carbs and fats. I would do the carbs and fats lesson in the first 10 minutes. We had 72-minute classes, and I would get all like what I needed to get done. And then I would leave the rest of the time for space to discuss and to pick their brains and to see what kind of gifts that they had. And I was telling my client that I was doing this, and it was me already living the life that I wanted to live. I was just in a different environment. You know, I wanted the freedom. I didn't want to have to work for somebody else. I didn't want to have to be somewhere at a certain time every single day. I was tired of that. And if any of you guys are teachers, you understand that. You grew up going to school, K through 12, where you're on a schedule every single day, and then you become a teacher, and 17 more years plus the 12. Now you're like, oh my gosh, that's almost 30 years of me waking up and going somewhere and having to be somewhere at a certain time. I didn't want that for myself anymore. So I co-created a different reality. I asked the universe, I said, universe, I want to reach more kids. I want to reach more people with my lessons. I don't want to be teaching in a building anymore. I want to start YouTube. And 4 months later, after I made that declaration, I set it out, I put it on pieces of paper all over my house, and I also wanted to manifest $30,000. I just picked a random number just to dance with it. And I got a message a couple months later, a DM on Instagram from a girl. She was like, hey, I have this, company that I work for, and we're selling mindfulness programs to schools all over the US and Canada. Would you be willing to create one? Meanwhile, I had never edited video. I had never filmed. I was only a teacher in the classroom. I knew about meditation and mindfulness, and I had already taught 6th through 12th graders. So I had a broadened perspective of what, that younger kids need as far as high school kids. So it was going to be reaching all levels. So I had the tools. I just didn't have the logistics of how to actually make it happen. But I said yes and figured it out later. Well, that program has now made, the first paycheck was $29,000, which was so close to my 30,000. And that was July. By December, I got the $30,000, which it's not really what it was about. It was about reaching kids and reaching more people. So that manifestation came in and I took action and I did it. I had so much fear. I didn't know how to film. I was scared. I didn't even know what kind of electronics to use. I didn't know whether to use a computer or a camera. And it was the video quality is not that great, but everything aligned when I said yes. The right editor came. I had one of my graduates edit it for me. He was amazing. And it felt so good to be able to pay him what he deserved to edit that for me. Because when I got that 30,000, I was like, yes, I can pay him. And I had already paid him along the way. But it's just so cool to see how when we ask for something and we co-create a new life for ourselves, it then happens. But it took me 4 months to get that DM. So I was creating and creating and creating, but there was lag time. Okay. So sometimes the universe doesn't work as fast as you think it should work. And when that offer comes in, when that DM came in, it didn't feel like a big manifestation. It didn't feel like this is my key. This is how I'm going to get out of teaching. This is the $30,000. I didn't know. All I knew was somebody was asking me to create something that I had no idea how to create, but I said yes anyway because I know how this works. I know that we have to kind of become different people, and the universe is kind of pulling us out of our old being because it knows what our soul really came here to do. And if the Michelle back then, before getting that DM on Instagram, could look at herself now and look at myself in this video, I would not recognize who I am. I would think that that's not me. How did she learn how to do this? How did she learn how to edit her own videos? How did she learn how to speak on camera with nobody in the room? So I became a completely different woman. And I don't know how it happened. It just, the universe led me. It pulled me. It said, hey, babe, we know who you're going to be in this lifetime, but you just need to trust us. You just need to say yes when we bring you things that make your heart flutter. And that's why I'm here in this video sharing this story with you, because we can co-create our reality. It's like a remembrance. When you're wanting to manifest something, I believe we're kind of remembering what we really came here to do. And we're telling the universe, we're ready. We're finally ready for it. Bring us the next breadcrumb. And sometimes it takes 4 months. But I believe now, that was back in 2019, 2020. I believe now their energy is so high on our planet that we can think thoughts and we can create it in 2 weeks. And it's using my teachings, using the imaginal acts, using the journaling, using the index card method where you grab an index card, you write your desire, and you intentionally go on long walks with it, and you're saying what's on the card out loud. You're planting the seed in your imagination station, your subconscious, and that drives 95% of your day. So back then, when I was manifesting the $30,000 and reaching more kids and leaving my teaching job, I was not thinking about it every single day. I was not doing imaginal acts. I was doing like this much of the vibrational work. I didn't even understand vibration at the time. I was living in my brother's house. I was sleeping in his basement. I felt like not a good person, felt like I couldn't take care of myself. So it took 4 months because I wasn't in a good energy. I believe that. And now that I know so much about this, and I've worked with thousands of clients and I've helped them co-create their reality in the past 4 years, it is so important to know that things can shift overnight depending on who you're being and what you believe. If you believe that you could leave your job and co-create this whole new life and be the podcaster, start the business, you might not know how you're going to get there, but if you believe it to be true, ask for it. And then every day, I need you to wake up and start being that person. Start putting the clothes on like you're that person. Start putting food in your body like you're that person. And that's what I wish I would have known back then, because I think it would have happened faster. But it was all perfect because I learned so many lessons. But now I'm here to accelerate you. You don't have to wait the 4 months. It can happen next week. It could happen tomorrow. It's whatever you believe to be true. Your subconscious is literally, like I said, it's driving 95% of your day and your actions. 95, that's huge. And if you don't even know what's in there, your life is kind of going to be all over the place. So and the way you know what's in there is by your reality. What you're attracting is what's in your subconscious. So if you have low funds, you don't have the resources, and you don't have the people in your life that you want, that's a reflection of what you're believing and who you're being. So once you start throwing a wrench in the wheel, you wake up tomorrow, right? You're all going to do this. You're going to wake up tomorrow. You're going to write down who you want to be, what you want to create, Because if you don't write it down, or if you don't say it and declare it to the universe has like a blank whiteboard. It's like, what do they want? I don't know. We're just going to give them more of what they have. So you have to write on that imaginary whiteboard, telling the universe your DoorDash order. This is what I want. Just like I said, I want $30,000. I want to reach more kids. I don't want to teach in the classroom anymore. Boom. The universe brought me that exact opportunity. I was teaching on camera. Now I'm in like over 400 plus schools all over the US and Canada, and kids might be watching my video right now. So I'm still teaching technically. I'm still reaching kids, and I'm reaching you guys. So it's cool how the universe brought me this expansive audience of people who can learn from my teachings or from their teachings, because I'm just channeling for them. And I've opened myself up to be used for good. So tomorrow you're going to wake up, you're going to declare who you're going to be, you're going to ask for what you want, and you're going to keep your vibration in a great state. You're going to believe it to be true, and you're going to forget your current reality, because that's your old subconscious. Your current reality is a product of your old way of thinking, of yesterday, of the day before, the week before. So now when you're different today or tomorrow, you're now going to get a different result for next week. So remember that when you're being different, you're going to receive different. So don't let the doubt and the fear creep in, because you're being different. Okay. And this is what really accelerates the process, is when that fear creeps in and you're like, oh no, it's not going to come. I'm never going to get it. No, you've been different for the past week. You've been doing all of this. It's science. It has to arrive. So hold that faith. And remember, that DM for me came in and I could have said no. I could have seen that as, oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I asked for. But I had to say yes and then figure it out later. It was really, really scary. You guys, I had visceral fear in my belly, in my chest. I was so nervous, but I did it anyway. So the thing that you're calling in might make your body feel uncomfortable. It might scare you, but that's exactly what you want. Your soul came here to evolve and grow. You came here to overcome the mind and the old beliefs, to break out of that, to jump up to a higher timeline, to fulfill your mission. And your mission is whatever you're manifesting, whatever you're wanting for yourself. That's your mission. You're just remembering it. Okay, so hold the line, do your imaginal acts, declare what you want, start being that person, and then rest in the knowing that when you're being different, you'll receive different. All right, lovies, if you want to work with me, I do one-on-one coaching. I have a mentorship program. Everything's in the description box below. Please hit me up if you feel called. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace out.